welcome everyone to this wedding, especially in my heart, moms and dads, because without you, there's not us. And without mom and dad, there's not Miles or Mackenzie. All of y'all also coming here to share love, which I believe comes from God. And in my own experience, what I want to share with y'all, when you run out of love, which we all do at some time in our lives, we can say, Jesus, help me, help me. And he does. It doesn't matter if we're good or bad, because usually we're a bit of both. Help me, and he does. And in Ecclesiastes, there's a verse in the Bible that says a 3-cord strand or 3-cord rope is not easily broken. And I believe that's you, Mackenzie, is one strand, Miles is the other, and God's in the middle. And you're like this. That won't break. No one outside can break you. So love each other, forgive each other, stick together thick and thin. Only Jesus is Jesus. We're just humans. We're gonna fail each other. But one thing about marriage is you're always on each other's side, no matter what happens. So I thank God for that.
Miles, my dude, my love. When I first met you, I remember thinking, this guy can't be real. He's nuts. And I was correct, but I would never want you any other way. You're one of the most incredible people I know. And I don't mean all the work that you do helping people on a grand scale, but also the little moments day to day when you are never afraid to step in when you see someone in need and when you go out of your way to offer help to people. I strive to be more like you in that way. In that, I appreciate how you bring out a better version of me while also lifting me up. I love how you brighten my light and never try to dim it and celebrate my accomplishments. I never feel like I have to tone myself down for you, be less silly, be less weird, or be less honest. I love how I can be myself around you, and I can be open and honest. The past few years have shown me what it is like to be your teammate. I'm so grateful that I get to be your teammate and partner in life.
I promise to be patient, kind, and appreciate you in every way that I can from this day forward. And you stole this from me, I know. I promise to never stop cracking your knuckles, even when we both get arthritis. I promise to take care of you and be there for you when you need me the most, when you need a shoulder to lean on, a laugh to be shared, a hand to be held, or take out the trash. That works too. Mackenzie, you are my best friend and my most trusted confidant. I can be at home with you, I can cry and laugh with you, and I know you are there for me, and me with you. And I know I can count on you through everything and anything between. Dave, you've changed my life. My relationship with God, how I view the world, my perspective, everything. I have so much to thank you for. You know, in life, there's a lot of fakeness out there in a lot of different ways. Everything we fought for in Afghanistan, it ended up being for nothing. Absolutely for nothing. Nothing. And that was a big part of my existence growing up as a young man. What Dave stands for and what FBR stands for and how he shows the presence of God is real. This is real, like nothing else you've seen before in your life. This is real. This is tangible, going into places, telling people you're there with them. Never surrender. If the people can't run, then you can't run. This is real. And you tell people we go to Syria, to Iraq, to Tajikistan, and Burma, and Thailand, and for you guys in Sudan, what FBR stands for in doing these things is the realest thing you can be a part of. So there's a lot of fake things you can be a part of in this world. There's a lot of fake motivations and fake dreams and fake relationships and fake whatever you want, and it ends up doing nothing, and you just feel empty and void.
But I wanted to share a message with you that Amrullah Saleh, he's the president of Afghanistan. The president, Ghani, ran away. The vice president, Amrullah Saleh, became president. We're going to go help him in the Panjshir Valley. This is last year. Whole thing falls apart. We meet him. And he said this, tell all Americans, and I'm telling you all this too. Number one, it was not a waste. It was not a waste. Anything done in love is not a waste. My nephew died in Afghanistan. Zal died in Syria. Your friends died. That's true. But what did they do it for? What did they do it for? They did it for love. And then when we're in 1 John 3:16, it says, just as Jesus died for us, we should be willing to die for others. There's no higher thing. You don't have to die, be willing to die for someone else. That's what your friends did. That's what our friends did. That is not a waste. That love is never forgotten. Sahim, what's your name? Samim is not going to forget the love shown him. His people aren't going to forget it either. So they know people loved and care for them. So that we did the best we could do. We're not God, we're just people. So you guys didn't waste your time. You made a big difference. And what your presence there said, you guys count. You count. When we're in Burma, we're not winning, we're losing. We lost 13 of my team this year, one killed right next to me just a couple months ago. But I remember a guy from Vietnam who was one of my company commanders when I was in the Special Forces. He said, Dave, we lost the Vietnam War. But you know what I went for? I went for that little kid that was killed. So when I go to heaven, I said, I fought for you. I fought for you. That's all we can do in life, is do the best we can do out of love. So Amrullah Saleh said this, tell the Americans, and I wouldn't do this at anybody's wedding but Miles and Mackenzie's, if you started it. He said, tell the Americans, we are to blame for losing Afghanistan, us Afghans. Not you Americans, not your fault. It's our fault. It's our country. We're to blame. There's other countries that did bad things too, but we're to blame. You Americans are to blame with how you left. Cowardly and inept. Get over it. You're humans. You make mistakes. Say you're sorry and keep leading. Keep leading. Because you think any other world power cares when they do wrong things? No, they don't care. You're different. You care. And we need you. So for the sake of America, keep leading. Keep leading. And for the sake of the world, keep leading.
And as she grew up and then she met Miles, well, she met her soulmate because that's what Miles does. He travels and he has adventures and he helps other people. I may have heard he served in Afghanistan, he's helped out in Ukraine, he's done many different things. And he's always willing to help whoever, however needs help, as is Mackenzie, who's done a lot of that as well.
When asked what she admires most about Miles, Mackenzie's response was his bravery. And it was then that it all clicked. I understood that both having this shared quality, there would be nothing else they couldn't take on together. Mackenzie doesn't by default choose the easiest route available. She chooses the route that matters the most to her and to the world as she sees it. She faces her fears and she stretches the walls of her bounds. But Mackenzie and Miles are compelled to make their time on earth spent making an impact and in passionate and relentless dedication to the service of others. Early on, when Mackenzie and Miles had started dating, I went out to visit Mackenzie in Indiana, and she told me we were going to go to dinner with this guy that she had been seeing, Miles. I was very intrigued because all I knew was that he used a fake name on Facebook. He grew up in Thailand, and he was a student at IU, having recently served. And when I met Miles, he did not disappoint. He was full of energy, ping-ponging around in this conversation through topics, trying to figure out what excited me so we could have a shared excitement, with no end in sight to the joy that he had for the topics that interested him the most. I was thoroughly impressed by the vim and vigor that he brought to a conversation.
So a couple things about Mackenzie. Well, everyone who knows Mackenzie, I mean, there's no jokes about Mackenzie. Everyone who knows Mackenzie, they know she's beautiful, talented. How many guys do you know in your life who's married to a talented chemical engineer? I know only one, that's Miles. But you know, she's beautiful, smart, and an intelligent woman, and you guys know that she deserves a good husband. I'm very happy that Miles locked her down before she found a good husband. But in all honesty, as Tom said, Miles and Mackenzie, they complement each other. They're kind, compassionate. They like to help each other. They like to help other people. Okay, I lost track. But one thing that I know about Miles, and Mackenzie knows that too, Miles is not very expressive, and he only becomes expressive when he has a couple drinks. And I, for one, shared that honor with him one too many times. But each time he would become tipsy or had a little too drinks, he would talk about Mackenzie and how much he loves Mackenzie. And that is the words coming from his heart. So he really loves you, Mackenzie.